Oh shoot! I still got my I still got my band on. This was from went dancing last night. I just saw it. I put my hand up. All right. Okay. Today we're doing a quick, hopefully it's quick, kind of video on this Bissell Proheat. Now this is gonna help you with the Proheat 2X if you have one, and pretty much all the older Proheats, not the Revolutions and stuff like that. Okay, and so here we go. Are you ready? All right. So the biggest problem you're gonna get with the Proheats, okay, is spraying issues. Okay. You might run into a couple of suction issues here and there, but the biggest issue is going to be spraying. All right. So let me give you a couple of tips. Stick around for this one because there's something I'm going to show you at the end that I ran into, like the problems I ran into, and I'm just kind of giving you an idea of how to avoid some of those problems. If you are someone who repair these for as a part of your profession, trust me, it's going to be a time saver. If you're doing it at home, it's going to save you some frustration. Okay, are you ready? All right. So now you've been using your machine, you realize that it's not spraying, and now you're going to have to figure out what's going on. All right, first thing first, if you want to make sure, we want to eliminate the pump as the main problem. We want to eliminate the belt as the main problem, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test the hose. I want to see if the hose is spraying. If the hose is spraying, and especially with these new, there's a step that I'm going to skip because with these new systems, they don't have that metal, the lead heater element. Okay, so the likelihood of the heater being a part of the problem is now eliminated. If you have the older system, you definitely want to make sure that heater gets cleaned out, because most likely, if you're using these heaters on these older systems, the moment you shut your machine off, right, the heater stays and is baking the solution. Man, my hands are dry. Every time I do these videos, my hands are dry. I should stop and put on some lotion. Anyway, let's keep rolling because I don't want to do another take if I don't have to. All right, so for this particular unit here, the one that have those little wavy lines, they're not using a heater element. They're just kind of using hot air or something like that to try to. And I guess with Bissell, they're saying, hey, let's not eliminate this selling feature. So how much the hot air works, I really can't comment on that right now. But anyway, I don't even like using the heaters in the first place. So here we go. So, okay, so first you test make sure if this is spraying, but it's not spraying down here, then all we're focusing on is we're gonna focus on the jets down here, okay? If this is not spraying, before you take the whole unit apart, let's make sure your belt is on, okay? And there are two belts that come with these systems. You have the pump belt and you have the brush belt, okay? So we're gonna check the pump belt real quick, all right? And let's see if I can lower this camera some, all right? Here we go, that's simple enough, all right? So we got a flathead screwdriver. Just check the pump belt, because you don't want to take this thing apart and all it was a pump belt. All right, so let me lift this up. Okay, so you can see that this pump belt, the pump belt is on. See that right there? Here we go. The pump belt is on. So, all right. So if now you're looking, you're like, oh, okay, well, the pump belt's working. Let's say you found out that this is spraying, then now I'm gonna have to go inside the unit now to check out what's happening with the jets, right? If this is not spraying and the pump belt is on, it could be two things. Could be a pump, right? Or it could be the auto load receiver. is not receiving the water. It could be a clog. But then if this is not working, the clog would have to be where either right after the pump, right after the water passes through the pump, or at the auto receiver area, something like that. So it's a little. If a shop charges you a lot of money, honestly, to fix these machines, it's because, man, it takes a lot to figure out where the true source of the problem is sometimes with these machines, because you got to go through a lot of this stuff. So be patient with these shops that either they'll tell you we don't fix them. Okay, I've ran into a lot of people who come to me and said, man, these guys, in the next town, they say they don't fix this thing at all. Would you do it? I'm an adventurer, so I'm gonna give it a shot, So, all right. So now, here we go. Let's take this apart. So let's say now we figure out that, hey man, I'm gonna have to go inside this machine. All right, I can't avoid it. All right. You take all your stuff off, right? Take this off, all right? Some of the units, this is like much bigger, so same process. You just gotta take all the screws out. All right, so let's get the screws out of this thing, and I'm gonna show you two steps that you're gonna do, okay? And for the sake of time and saving you some of this, some of the process, I'm not gonna focus on the auto receiver. I'm not gonna focus on the pump. All right, it's a clear-cut thing. If you just want to replace a pump, replace the pump. But if it's not the pump, let's do this first before what I'm about to show you, before you decide that the pump is the issue. Okay, let's go here first. All right, I think I got all my screws. Yep. I don't like using the drill on this machine, only because maybe unscrewing, but still, the force of the drill can crack the little spots here that the screws go into, and these things become brittle after a couple of years. You see, like right here, okay? You don't want this breaking, man. All right, these areas right here where the screws go into, because then all of a sudden this can't sit properly on this machine. So use a regular, take the time. I know it takes longer, but use this on these machines, okay? Most plastic machines, honestly, I think I probably need to get back to just using the regular screwdriver, because these plastics are getting more and more brittle, man. All right, okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this thing. So this is what I'm gonna have you do. You can get a needle nose pliers, or you can get a regular pliers or whatever. Take off your jets, okay? These things here. Let me get a little closer. Let's get a little closer to this thing so you can see what I'm doing here, okay? All right, and I don't have to keep doing this. Let's get down a little closer here. There you go. All right. All right, are you close enough? Okay. So now we're gonna take these off, all right? Take these off. All right, just kind of yank this out here, okay? And then we're gonna take this one off too. Squeeze the tabs on the side, and then lift it up, okay? This one I didn't have to even use a screw. I was able to pull it back. And I just grab this and kind of pull it out. Now, most of the time, there's some gunk. If it's a clog, there's some gunk in here, okay? This is what I recommend. The jets are so small, right? I recommend, for future reference, okay, to avoid this happening again, use a tiny little drill bit like this, okay? And just get inside this thing and just open it just a little bit. Open it just a little bit more than it is, okay? Because you're probably not gonna avoid soap scum drying up in the line unless you flush this thing every single time. Unless you flush it out every time you use it, and maybe even add some vinegar to your water or something like that, and rinse it out every time you use it, you're gonna get soap scum building up in this thing, okay? Just know that, all right? So that's what I recommend. Now, here's what you do. Now, after you unclog it, okay, I would do this. Just rest the nozzle right here. Okay, maybe even stick it in like this, just temporarily. Okay, if you can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Put it back on here, right? And turn the machine on and let it spray and let it spew out all the gunk. Because if you don't do that, what's gonna happen is that the moment you put this back in there, anything that's in the line is gonna clog this back up again, and you're gonna have to take it off again and put it back on again and keep doing it until the line is totally flushed out. So, you know, plug your machine in, squeeze the trigger. Let me just, I think I got it now. All right, it came off the stand. All right, I'll just talk to you like this, all right? Okay, so squeeze the trigger and allow all that soot and all that soap scum to get flushed out, okay? And I hope this helps some of you guys, especially, I just know the first time, man, the first machine that I fixed that wasn't a Kirby at the time was, no, first of all, the first one was a Hoover, but the first shampoo was a Bissell 2X. And that thing drove me nuts, man. It drove me crazy. Honestly, I would have thrown it through the window, okay? It was that frustrating because I had to keep putting it back together, take it back off, put it back together to kind of get the problem solved. And it was a journey. It was a learning experience. So let me review real quick what to do with this, all right? So you're gonna use that little drill. Just drill a little hole a little bit wider. It's not gonna prevent it altogether, but man, when you see the size of the pebbles, the soap scum that actually stop this from spraying, it's like tiny little itty bitty little micro size little specks that stop this thing from spraying. So you want to make sure that at least you won't have that particular problem. All right, and then also use the machine for a few minutes. Allow without the jets on, allow it to flush all that stuff out, and that should help you in your journey fixing these 2Xs. Okay? All right. Until next time. Okay? Hey guys, if you like what we're doing, if you like the channel, and I'll be honest with you, listen, I have a link to my website. I'm still, putting products on there. I'm still building it. And you want to order your supplies, check the site, see what we have on there, check it out, okay? I even have a support tab if someone want to support the channel and they want to just send two cents to us to help. Maybe I could get a better camera. Do that, all right? Don't feel like you need a special invitation. All right, guys, until next time, bye.